Okay, I'm Howard Charba, owner of Times Square, and I'm sitting here discussing Governor Abbott and some of the things that he put in place.
I'm Sheila Cooper, owner of Remax Impact and C. Cooper Custom Homes.
My name's Rusty Jackson. I'm a mortgage lender here in Tyler.
Love our country, love our state, but when Mr. Abbott put those restrictions across every county in the whole state of Texas, some of which didn't even have any cases. They didn't even have cases in them. And yet he said unilaterally, here's what every county's going to do, as opposed to letting our local leaders that we actually elected to make those decisions. I don't understand how he can make a decision unilaterally like that and have total understanding, because obviously we can't get a hold of him and talk to him, but yet our leaders allow us to talk to him. Our local leaders do all the time. I was able to talk to the mayor, the judge, our state representative, and a senator, all representing our areas. And they all gave me input back on what was going on, how we could safely open, and what we were going to be able to do. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Abbott comes up and says, okay, here's what I'm deciding for the whole state.
It was my understanding that at any time, Governor Abbott could have called a special legislative session instead of making executive orders, bring in the actual body, the legislator, and let some of our local representatives and representatives across the state make law instead of passing executive orders.
Why do you think he didn't do that?
My understanding is initially Governor Abbott, he was letting the local legislators kind of make decisions for us, but then politicians like Clay Jenkins was really putting a lot of pressure on him. He was real big on shutting everything down immediately in Dallas County, and every time he did, he would make pleas to the governor to do the same across the entire state. The governor has issued orders that all of us are to abide by, and what's right for Dallas is not right for Tyler.
No.
Exactly.
When we elect people, I wonder why we can't get the real thing from them. I mean, they go into office and they make all these promises how they're going to listen to the people because we are who they represent,
Right.
not the donors. And yet they go in with these aspirations of bigger and grander things, and all they really need to focus on is us. We're the ones that elect them. And I can promise you this, I'm going to think real hard about who I vote for next election for governor. I hope that somebody with my values runs, because I will get 100% behind them.
Absolutely.
And there are many different groups active on Facebook, and that if you read a lot of the comments, you'll see how many of his people are disgruntled with the decisions that he's made.
We were discussing earlier, property tax assessments just came out, and
Yes.
most everyone I've talked to, the values have skyrocketed.
They have.
And I heard Abbott say something along the lines of, hey, you local leaders, local officials, we need to do something about this. Now's not the time to do it. Well, the local officials have already done it. They've already raised it. Abbott once again could call a special session, and do something about it.
Right.
Officially, legislate it from Austin instead of suggesting. It's kind of like I want to have my cake and eat it too. He'll say something which sounds good,
Right.
but nothing. There's no action. Nothing ever happens.
So yeah, I think my biggest problem with what he did on the shutdown was, instead of letting us come up with plans, he decided to pick the winners and the losers. And if you happen to be in a certain industry, it didn't matter what kind of plan you came up with, he wasn't going to listen to it.
Right.
And we put in that air conditioning system right before we got shut in that kills 99.9% of germs on contact. Spent a lot of money, and that's from studying what was going on with the coronavirus, and we were trying to make this place more sanitary, safer, and doing everything in our power. Well, he doesn't even take those things into consideration, and it makes no sense, because there was other businesses that there was no social distancing, but yet in here we had 65,000 square feet, and we couldn't let one person in unless we turned into a grocery store. Then we could do whatever we wanted.
Right. And how did he come up with that list? Who said if you go to Lowe's,
You're safe.
Right, you'll be safe and you won't get the virus, but if you go to Grand Slam, you will.
I know. It made no sense. And I mean, he didn't even give us a chance.
It was essential and non-essential, and in my opinion, every job that's legal, if it's a legal business, it provides food for a family, it puts meals on the table. You know, it is an
It's essential for that
business.
family.
Absolutely.
I agree. I have got personal friends, one who owns a nail salon and another who owns a hair salon, that have nearly lost everything because they can't open up. And it just doesn't make any sense, because if you do have a plan, you know, why couldn't they open up 2 months ago, but now they can open up? What has changed? The virus
The
hasn't
virus
gone
hasn't
away
changed, no.
at all. And I just think that there's more and more data that's coming out that they can't ignore anymore. You know, the initial projection of 2 million Americans are going to die, and to date we have less than 100,000. That info is out there.
We're also not going to totally give up our liberties, our freedom, just so that we can do what? I mean, what does he want us to? Does he want to run our whole country
What's his
out of?
end goal?
Yeah, I mean, I don't
know
get it.
what that is.
Because I can tell you this: we opened about a year ago, and thank God I'm going to make it. But I'm telling you, it is going to be very, very painful, and it's going to take me a couple, 3 years to get through all of it.
Right.
I mean, and I'm a lucky one. You know, there's a lot of people that weren't
that
quite as
have
blessed.
closed their doors forever.
I know. And they put their heart and soul, their life into it,
Right.
and then the government told them, you have no opportunity to stay in business.
Right.
Well, there's still areas of my business he's told me I can't run, which, am I going to listen to him anymore? I can't afford to.
Right.
It's either run the business or shut down. I mean, that's it. I don't have another choice.
And you've heard people in the media call business owners greedy for doing that, selfish.
Oh yeah.
Right.
They'll say
Which
you're
just blows
selfish.
my
Oh
mind.
yeah. We've gotten blasted because I've been vocal. I've been blasted on how I'm an idiot, how I'm selfish, how terrible I am, and I'll plead with them. I'm not trying to argue. I'm just presenting the other side of the information.
Right.
And everybody has a right to stay home. They have that God-given right to not go
Absolutely.
out.
Right.
But why would you take away our God-given right to go out?
Right.
We have all these freedoms, or had.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, I'm not going to go down without kicking and screaming.
How have these orders helped citizens in Texas? I see more harm than
Absolutely.
any.
And I think we've
help.
only begun to see some of the.
I do too.
You know,
I think it's going to
financial
get
damage.
worse before.
Oh,
Economic damage.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to get, I will tell you, it's going to linger for quite a while, especially in my industry.
Right.
Because we don't make a living at 25%.
No.
We go broke. At 50%, we go broke.
Right.
I'm sorry, but we just can't make a living. And, 65,000 square feet, this is a entertainment center. This isn't a partial entertainment. I mean, I
Right.
can't convert it.
Do you just choose to employ 25% of your employees? How do you pick and choose
You can't.
who gets a paycheck?
After I had people in early March, both in healthcare, that were put to part-time hours. I mean, their hours cut in
Healthcare,
half.
that was the craziest thing.
We had to cancel the mortgage
Right.
process. I had another client the day before closing. They were laid off from their job. They'd been with the same company for 10 years and laid off the day before closing.
Yeah,
So
we
that
had
meant
3
they
that
didn't
were
get their
terminated
house.
because they lost their job. I think ultimately, if just using common sense, if the executive orders made sense for Texans, I wouldn't have anything negative to say about what Governor Abbott did. But there is no factual data that supports any of the executive orders.
I still 100% agree, even though I was labeled as essential as well. All business is essential. I do not like the government telling any business, that they're essential, not essential. Every business is essential that puts food on, provides food and shelter, for a family.
Yes.
Every business is essential.
Well, I would say my final thought on this whole deal. Governor Abbott, you blew it. You did not follow the Constitution. You made a very big mistake. Why don't you do something about it and come on and tell Texas what really happened, and or at least give it back to the local leaders. I appreciate you coming by, Rusty, and talking to me. Sheila, I very much appreciate it. Thank you. Y'all have a great day.